Have quite an interesting keychain light in today. It's the Nitecore TINI, or I assume it's pronounced that way. This was sent in via Nitecore for a review, and I've put the dimensions on the screen for you. This is quite a bit smaller than the TIP, which I looked at the older version earlier this year. The same sort of construction though. You have the hardened aluminium exterior. This one has a cover on the micro USB port, so that's an important difference between the TIP that I've used. Now, how long that holds up will remain to be seen. I'll let you know. It seems to be reasonably secure. I'm glad they included that cover because it didn't have that on the earlier version of the TIP. On the back there you can see we have a ring that's pre-attached. Unfortunately, I didn't get the retail packaging on this, so I'll show you the user manual online a bit later on. They're using a Cree XP-G2 S3, and they've gone for sort of micro lenses over the front of the reflector rather than the textured reflector which they had on the TIP. These are the other items that I got. You've got a quick release latch on this particular ring, and a couple of other rings including a beefier ring and a smaller one. I personally go for the quick release myself. And looking at the design, you can see that the buttons are sunk down a bit. Even though they stand up, they're actually in that recessed area, so you need to push and hold for a couple of seconds. Turns it on, single press off. The mode button cycles through the 3 power levels, and you have the mode memory. There's no instant access to the lowest mode, but I'm not too fussed on that because the mode memory will cover that. And to hit the top button to get to the turbo mode, you can do that when it's on or off. You need to press that for just over half a second when it's off to get instant access to the turbo. If you press the top button, it gives you the battery level indicator. 1 to 3 flashes. Quite a handy little feature to have. And you can switch the 2 modes. You have a demo mode which automatically turns off after 30 seconds, and you have a daily mode where you have to manually turn it off yourself. I assume the idea of that is, in addition to having to long press the buttons, it's a sort of lockout security feature, I imagine. I can't see another reason for that. It's okay. Personally would have gone with a lockout myself. Pretty happy with the design. You can see it's very compact size, but it's capable of quite a powerful output too. This is a quick rundown on the user manual. You can see we have the 4 power levels. Turbo takes you right up to 380 lumens, which is quite impressive, same as the TIP. And your warranty information is here. Goes down to about 1 lumen, but I reckon it's about 2 lumens myself on the moonlight mode. Did a water resistance test and it passed that without any problems. The official rating is IP54, so that's water splashing and dust won't have any harmful effects on the device. I had no problems with that. And I did a battery test, came in pretty much on spec, and about an hour and a half to charge it. It's time for a few beam shots now, and I'll wrap up at the end. I've opened up the case so you can have a look inside. I didn't see any additional sealing myself, but as it passed my water resistance test, I have to assume that once the cover is on, that there's enough there to stop water and dust getting in. I didn't have any problems when I was testing it and I saturated the unit. Some thoughts overall on the TINI. Personally, I prefer this to the TIP based on the fact that it is a smaller design. It's quite a bit smaller than the TIP, and I think that for convenience is quite a useful thing to have, but the compromise is you're going to have shorter run times. The TIP has a bigger battery, so perhaps if you have a TIP it's not a must-have, but if you thought that you wanted something a bit smaller, it's certainly worth a look in my view. It would have probably added a full lockout mode, but it's less likely to activate when you compare it to the TIP. Buttons are recessed compared to the other parts of the case, so I didn't have any accidental activation issues, and you have that 30-second off timer. That's just an improvement which I might make. So yeah, overall very nice little keychain light, capable of quite a high power output. Don't forget to let me know what you think of the TINI, and I'll catch up with you in my next video review.